Welcome back, Heels and Quads Media here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I'm Tommy, and I'm gonna bring you my dream Kiss set list for the last show. Now, obviously, this is not gonna happen. It's impossible because the way I did it, it's if all members were still alive, all members were in the good graces, all members were able to join the band on stage. Now, I know the last show's at Madison Square Garden. A lot of people that have done this type of thing have said they would do their show at Madison Square Garden as well. Obviously, world's most famous arena, Kiss, hometown, New York, Madison Square Garden. However, my dream would be a stadium. So, are we going to do Yankee Stadium? Would they do Citi Field? Or would they do maybe even think outside the box, go a little bit bigger and go to Jersey and do MetLife Stadium? So I would say let's do MetLife Stadium, more people, you know, more money. Gene, he likes his money. So I think that's the way to do it. But I am live. I've been thinking about doing this for a couple of weeks now. I put my list together. Obviously, the length of this will be how many people show up, how many people comment, how many people give me their list. Not a lot of people live. Our live streams, even though we have a decent amount of subscribers on YouTube, our live streams never seem to do that well. But the Kiss content has been doing so well. I wanted to do this live. I don't have to edit. I don't have to put anything together, although I did. Well, that package was from the farewell tour. Kiss fans know that. But I did have to snip it down just a little bit because YouTube kept giving me copyright claims and this and that. So I snipped it down a little bit. A couple of songs were a little too long. So cut it down and made it to where I wouldn't have to worry about copyright claim. Although I have no problem giving Kiss money. I've been doing it my entire life, so I have no problem giving Kiss more money. So if there is any issues, Gene, just let me know and I'll either cut it or you guys can take the money. I have no problems with it. Thank you, Ashley. I don't think Ashley, I don't think you're a Kiss fan, but I appreciate you being here. Anyways, so with that being said, let's just cut to the chase. Let's get to it. I'm assuming people will watch it later. I hope they do as the Kiss content continues to grow on the channel that I'm doing. People seem to be finding it sooner than later. So I'm happy about that. And the amount of subscribers we've gotten based on the Kiss content, that's swayed me to do this, hoping that people would join live, but that's not the case. So it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. As long as people see it eventually and give me your set list in the comments, I'd love to see it. Give me your scenario. Obviously, like I said, Eric Carr's still alive. Mark St. John's still alive, but maybe he comes out at the end. Vinny is. I'm just leaving Vinny out because I don't really. Not that I don't like what Vinny did, and I think he's a great songwriter and all, but I just even if in a dream scenario, even I don't see Vinny being in the good graces of Kiss again. All right, so let's open it up. So my first, I believe it's 21 songs, is all the original band. So Gene, Paul, Peter, Ace, in makeup, Love Gun stage, and they're gonna open the way they open that tour. I Stole Your Love, I think, is the best Kiss opener. It opens the Love Gun album, which I'm going to talk about in my Kiss ranking, my album rankings coming up soon. This video is obviously going to push back number 8 again. Although, if you are keeping up with that series, you know Ace Frehley's solo album from '78 is number 8. I will get to it. It's a process of getting time to record because I can even hear my kid in the background right now. So it's a process of getting it recorded and edited and getting it out. So we're opening with I Stole Your Love from Love Gun, the opening track from Love Gun, open the tour. I think it's the best opener that Kiss has ever had. Following I Stole Your Love, just like the live show, King of the Nighttime World from Destroyer. Love this song, the feedback opening, just everything about it is amazing. We talked about King of the Nighttime World in our Destroyer versus Creatures of the Night. Destroyer and Creatures of the Night still to come also in my ranking. Following King of the Nighttime World will be what also followed that in that tour, Ladies Room. So Gene's first appearance on this set list. And it was between this and Christine 16. And Christine 16, obviously, with everything PC now. And I don't even want to get into that whole thing. So we'll just go Ladies Room. And even then, I think people would have a problem with it. But that's Kiss, that's innuendo, and that's what it's all about. Following Gene's first appearance will be the first appearance of Ace. So from 1980 Unmasked, Talk to Me will be at number 4. We've got another comment here. Ashley says, I'm always interested in your music interest and thoughts. It gives me some different things to listen to when I'm offloading the truck. Excellent. I am glad that you like to listen. Next up, Peter's debut on the set, Mainline from Hotter Than Hell. I think it's an underrated song. I think that album's underrated. That's also coming up in my rankings. So lots of, and the next song is still to come. And the next song, I believe. Yeah. Yep. All right. So Mainline. And then probably Kiss fans' most desired live song of all the Kiss songs. I think everybody's always wanted this song in full live. We've gotten snippets of it over the years. We've got it unplugged. But Paul singing Mr. Speed is the following song. Then after that, I think one of my favorite probably Kiss songs ever, and a standout on the Dress to Kill record, and obviously, pre-Kiss song, because this song was also done by Wicked Lester, as you could get on the Kiss box set, came out in 2001. And this song, obviously the live version is incredible, and that song is She. Love everything about it. I think it's one of the best Kiss songs ever. I think it's one of the best live songs. Breakdown, everything, Gene Paul kind of going back and forth. Love that. All right. Another comment from Ashley. I have listened to some Kiss, but not a full album. But what album do you recommend to listen to first, or an underrated one to listen to? I would start with Destroyer as a new Kiss fan because that's their most popular one. It's got the most known songs on it. Not my favorite, but as far as like songs you would hear on the radio, and if you heard it, you would be like, okay, I know most of these songs. I would say probably you would know 1, 2, 3, at least 3, maybe 6, depending what your radio station plays. All right, so we were at She. All right, next up, Ace Frehley coming back, Take Over. From Alive 2, side 4 of Alive 2, we get Rocket Ride. This is one of my favorite Ace Frehley tracks. Kiss, Solo, Frehley's Comet, anything, Rocket Ride, I think one of Ace's best songs personally, and I think a lot of people agree. And then we're going to do something a little different. It's going to be like kind of a break in the set, because this is, again, Fantasy Dreamland. We're going to take a break in the set. We're going to change costumes. So we're going to go from Alive 2. We're going to go to the Dynasty costumes, and we're going to do Peter Criss singing his track from Dynasty. It's a little mini Dynasty set. And Peter's going to sing Dirty Livin' from Dynasty 1979. Then from there, we're going to get a cool song that we kind of got a taste of. I think it was like TV Mecca or something. They did this, and they did it in the Elder outfits. And we're going to do Gene Charisma. Then Ace steps back up to the mic and gives us from Dynasty Hard Times. And from there, one of the most beloved Kiss songs that they never really play live. Paul did it live on his solo tour when he did Live to Win. But we get Magic Touch. Fantastic song, underrated song by non-Kiss fans, obviously. But if non-Kiss non-Kiss fans heard the song Magic Touch, they'd be like, holy shit, this band is legit and for real. Next up, we're going to get kind of another little mini set where we're going to get song, solo, or solo song. So first up, we're getting Strange Ways from Hotter Than Hell into Peter Criss's drum solo. Strange Ways, written by Ace Frehley, one of the coolest songs, especially early Kiss, and an excellent track sung by Peter Criss into a Peter Criss drum solo. Then we get this one was kind of this list, it's like a lot of obvious with deep cuts because, like any band says, if you don't play the hits, people will get mad because people show up traditionally to see, especially an iconic band like Kiss or Aerosmith or AC/DC or Bon Jovi or Motley Crue. If they didn't play their hits, they would be doing a disservice to the fans. As a diehard fan of all of those bands, if you've seen them once, you've seen it, but you keep going back because you're like, maybe they'll, get a wild hair up their ass and do something that I've never heard them play live, or maybe for whatever reason, one night they'll bring out something like Kiss from the Elder or something. But I mean, rarely does that ever happen, especially with iconic bands, but every once in a while, you never know. It's not everybody can be Springsteen. As much as I love the boss, he's a freaking wild man. And I mean, this tour he's on now, he's kind of tamed it down a little bit. The set's pretty basic. Night to Night, he throws in a couple of different gems here and there, but yeah, for the most part, it's the same. And I mean, especially now with so many bands, laptops and backing tracks and everything, people get older. I'm never gonna shit on a band for having to use backing tracks because they're older. Yeah. Oh, they can just quit. Okay. Well, when there's money on the table, would you quit your job? I don't think so. So it makes sense. I mean, it sucks. I'd like to hear just a straight live band, but doesn't always happen, that song. Let's see here. Where are we at? Strange Ways, Peter Solo. Oh, this was the obvious one. It's been done 1,000 times, but if Ace Frehley's gonna do a guitar solo, it needs to follow "Shock Me" from Love Gun. I mean, one of Ace's best guitar solos. Great song, cool song about him getting electrocuted in Lakeland, Florida on the previous tour, wrote this song about it. And I mean, it's great. The chorus, even sometimes when you hear Gene and Paul doing the backup vocals on Shock Me in the chorus, even especially in the 70s, Gene's having a good time singing it. And it's a fun song. Coming up, we're going to get Gene solo and God of Thunder. I mean, he's done it. He used to do it with 100,000 Years in the early days. Then it went to God of Thunder. He's done it before I Love It Loud. He's done it before Unholy. He's done it through other songs. It's just, it is what it is. But the dream is you want those iconic moments with the new stuff, with the B-sides, with the songs that weren't played on radio. You want to mix everything because you can't just have straight hits and you can't have just straight, well, I want to hear this song because they never played it live. That's not how it works. I'm doing mine as a scenario where everybody is pleased. Everybody leaves happy. And 3 solos in a row, I know it's a little rough, but it's like we can get them out of the way, This followed by my favorite song of all time, Kiss or Not. This is, to me, I think this is my favorite song. I would never change it. I would never. It's the perfect rock song. Sexual innuendo. Love it. Love Gun. Of course, you can get, and you got the solos there. Paul, he did solos, but they weren't really. It was just, So here, Paul gets a little bit of a solo. He can fly over the crowd, whatever he wants to do. Or I guess, I mean, it would still be the Alive 2 stage. So if he didn't want to fly or whatever, they didn't want to do it. It's more money. They got to hang the cord or whatever, and he's got to go across. They could have the lifts like on the Alive 2 tour when he did this, and he just is up on the lift during Love Gun. That would be cool too. Whatever works. Following that, from Rock and Roll Over, Peter's going to take over on lead vocals again. Baby Driver. It's my next one. I've always liked this song. I like this song more than Hooligan, so that's why Baby Driver's taking this spot. Plus, never really did it live, so I think this makes more sense to kind of give Kiss fans, diehard Kiss fans, more of a gem, uh, a diamond in the rough, even a black diamond in the rough, if you will. And then after Peter does Baby Driver, then Ace goes into New York Groove, the only song from the solo albums. This is the only song from the 78 solo albums making an appearance, New York Groove. And at this point, they're still in their Dynasty costumes. They're going to finish out this entire set with the Dynasty costumes. And then after New York Groove, this is a little weird. We go Peter, we go Ace, then we go back to Peter. But this is that original lineup. I want to make sure Ace and Peter get their songs in. So New York Groove and back to Peter, Hard Luck Woman. Come on. You might not like it. Yeah, Paul wrote it with Rod Stewart in mind, but Peter's voice sounds awesome. That rasp. It was, trying to follow up Beth. It's a great song, and even when Paul sang it, it was great when they did Unplugged and the convention tour. So Hard Luck Woman's there. I love the song. I know a lot of people that like the song. My wife loves the song, so for me, it's got to be there. If I was making a Kiss set list, Hard Luck Woman would be on it. And then we go back to Ace and we go back to Unmasked. Even though Peter didn't play on it, but he's playing on it here. So we go back to Ace and we go Two Sides of the Coin. I think this would be a fun little closeout to see Ace do his final lead vocal on a song he never did live with Kiss. He's done it with his solo band now, but it would be fun to see him, back in the day with, I mean, I guess technically it would be today, but everybody's healthy, everybody's in great shape, everybody's alive, everything. So Ace singing his final song of the night, Two Sides of the Coin. I think it would be cool. We got the Dynasty costumes on. It's that time period. I think it's great. And then Peter closes out the main classic set singing Beth. He's alone on stage by himself in his Catman makeup, Dynasty costume. He's got the green. He closes it out with Beth. We'll be back with, maybe a couple of different members, but I think this would be a cool way to end it, especially in New York, or in my case, New Jersey, because they're playing MetLife at the final show because there's more people, more money. And from there, we take a quick break, change outfits. We go to the Creatures outfits for a small 2-song set. And it's Eric Carr on drums. We'll put Bruce Kulick on guitar, Gene and Paul. Bruce obviously is not wearing makeup. Gene and Paul still have their makeup on. Eric's got the Fox makeup on because I'd love to see that. I never got a chance to see Eric Carr live, or especially not in makeup because I wasn't even born yet. But I think that would be cool. I mean, obviously it's weird one member not wearing makeup, but Bruce didn't have makeup, and I didn't want to bring Vinny in. So we'll say Bruce, Eric Carr, Gene, and Paul. And they open their set with Creatures of the Night. Probably the heaviest, if second heaviest Kiss song, not including Carnival of Souls, because none of those songs made this list. Although it would be cool to hear them play a few of those songs live, but for the sake of keeping it to 30, keeping it tight, pleasing a little bit of everybody. And then from Creatures of the Night, we stay on that record, which is coming up on my Kiss rankings sooner than later. Hopefully I don't have as many bumps in the road as I've had the last couple of weeks, because I went from one a day to now you get one like every 10 days, but still doing lives. Muda put out a video on the Meg 2. Me and Levi did Parkway Drive last night. That was his pick, not mine. And then my next pick will be Nazareth Hair of the Dog, coming up in a couple of weeks. But we go from Creatures of the Night to, from the same record, Saint and Sinner. I think people don't like this song for some reason. I think it's badass. Gene sounds cool as hell. I would have loved to hear them have done this live on the Creatures tour or even later on in the 80s because I think it's a cool song, but they never did it live. Um, but it would have been cool if they did because then we could have got it on the Creatures box set that came out last year, and I would have been happy. But that's just me. So, but this is my list. So, and then from Saint and Sinner, I go to my only, well, one of two because the next two are non-makeup, but this is with Gene, Paul, Eric, and Bruce. And those three can leave their makeup on. Bruce can obviously not have makeup. But my favorite Kiss song of the non makeup era, and it's Who Wants to Be Lonely? That is like the poppiest song on here, but I love this song and I think it's the best of the non makeup era. Let me know in the comments what you think was the best song of the non makeup era. For me, it's Who Wants to Be Lonely. And then to close out this little mini set, Eric is going to bow out here, but he'll be back because my encore set is going to be Gene, Paul, Ace, Peter, Mark St. John, Bruce Kulick, Eric Carr, and Eric Singer. And Tommy. We'll bring Tommy Thayer in, but he's not going to wear Ace's makeup. And I guess for the sake of it, we'll throw Vinny in. Everybody's on stage for the encores. But to close out this little mini set from the Revenge album, probably actually the heaviest song, maybe, of Kiss's catalog, Unholy. Obviously they did it on the Revenge tour. You know, they did the little South American tour in '94. They did it there. They brought it back, I believe, Rock the Nation '04. They brought it back, and it's been in and out, whatever. But I think it's a great song. It's a good song to kind of make everybody happy. A revenge song is, I think, a revenge song has to be played, but I think this one is the most. It's not gonna, like, they could do Every Time I Look at You, and then the guy fans would be like, I don't like this song. I like that song personally, but that's me. I like ballads, but this song kind of is universal Kiss fans. I think for the most part, most, or if not all, Kiss fans like Unholy. So that's the Revenge song that made it. And then we go to our encores. This is where real Kiss fans are going to be like, oh, come on, really? That's so easy. And if you are a real Kiss fan and you don't already follow my Kiss page on Instagram at Creatures Asylum, that's where I've been promoting this stuff. Some cool people follow me back. Trickster, Acoustic Official followed me last night, which I'm a big Trickster fan. So that was kind of like a little coup to me for starting a Kiss page, because it's not like they're going to follow Heels and Quads, but it's cool. So the encores are going to be the obvious ones, but everybody's kind of played them. Everybody's been a part of these songs, whether it be studio or live or both in the cases of the originals, because these all 5 encores are original songs or original lineup songs. So we open the encore with Detroit Rock City. After Unholy, it goes dark. Everybody comes out on stage, go right into Detroit Rock City. I think that would be a cool way to kind of go out. And then from Detroit Rock City, we go back to the first album, because you can't end it unless you go back to where you came from. And it, not my favorite song from the first record, but definitely like a definitive song. And I wanted to put Strutter, but I've already got. I try to keep it balanced too between Gene and Paul, and everybody. Like Ace and Peter have one less, I think, than Paul had the most. I think he had 8. Gene had 7, and then Peter and Ace both had 6, something like that. But I tried to keep it as balanced as possible, so that way, because every member had their own, core fan base. So from Detroit City, we go back to the first album, and it's a Gene song, Deuce. You can't have a Final Kiss concert without the original opening song from their sets from the early days, Deuce, it's a great song. You know, your man is working hard. He's worth a shit. I've always like I remember being a kid and not knowing what that meant, and then I was like, oh yeah. When I found out, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. And then from there, you know, got to have our anthems in here, and also a trade vocal between Gene and Paul. So I mean, it's a classic. You can't not have it. I I mean, I think, like I said, it's a disservice to people who aren't diehards, but they show up to that last concert to be like, okay, well, maybe it's their first time seeing Kiss, or maybe it's a younger kid that's never had the opportunity to see them. They just happen to be at the last show, which how lucky is that kid, you know? But it's something they all heard on the radio. They all knew it, shouted out loud. I mean, I couldn't go the rest of my life probably without hearing Shout It Out Loud again, but it's a classic. It's an anthem. Great solo. Trade vocals. Love that. You know, it is what it is. And then from there, because Paul didn't get a solo, Peter got a solo, Ace got a solo, Gene got his solo. So what I want them to do the last time they play this song is the way they did it when I saw them on the farewell tour in 2000. The only time I ever got to see the original band, but like I said, everybody's a part of the encores. So they're going to open with Paul doing his solo guitar solo, but he does the first verse into the first chorus of I Still Love You, into Peter and Eric Carr switching lead vocals on Black Diamond. So we could have, you know, Paul does the intro to Black Diamond, then Peter takes over the first verse, Eric can take the second verse. I think that would be a cool way to do it. You know, Eric Carr, I think most Kiss fans, he might be our favorite drummer. And no disrespect to Peter Criss, I love Peter, but Eric Carr was cool as hell, man. And I loved the Fox makeup. And then, of course, number 30 to end the night. If they didn't end this, this is another song. If I never heard it again, I'd be fine. Live, different story. You got to have it. Got to close the night with it. And if Kiss is going out, they got to go out with the song that people know them the best for. I Was Made for Loving You. Just kidding. They're not doing that this night, but maybe like the sound check for the VIP fans, they could do I Was Made for Loving You one last time and Christine 16, which didn't make the list either, but should have. Rock and roll all night. There you have it. So obviously most of you are probably watching this later after the live. So if you are, or if you are watching it live, comment, tell me your dream Kiss set list. It doesn't have to be 30 songs, but I had a hard time cutting it down. I mean, in my dream scenario, Kiss plays every song that they've ever done from the entire catalog, every album back to back, or maybe they could do a tour where they one night they do the first album and go from there, and then, you know, so on and so forth. Then they go back around, and every time they do a different album when they come to your city. Kiss fans watching this, if you're a Kiss fan and you want to do some Kiss stuff with me, let me know. Comment, shoot me an email, heelsandquads@gmail.com. Let me know you'd like to do something on here, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, talking about Kiss with me. I'd love to do it. And if I can get enough Kiss fans to sign up on patreon.com/heelsandquads, I'll do a special hangout once a week with just Kiss fans, and we'll talk nothing but Kiss. So on that note, I'm going to say good night, and follow us on social media at Heels and Quads. Follow my Kiss page at Creatures Asylum on Instagram. That's the only place I am with that page. And then Heels and Quads. I'm not doing Twitter anymore. It's just too much. And I can't even like find anybody that I actually care to like read tweets from. So I deleted that app, and I'm on Threads. The Heels and Quads page is on Threads. Facebook, don't post there much. This goes on Facebook, but I don't post there. Instagram at Heels and Quads. And I think that's it. All right. So anyways, tell your friends, tell your enemies.